Are you a dental professional feeling overwhelmed by the demands of your workload and stress in the workplace? Are you feeling stuck, burned out, and undervalued? Have communication barriers and team conflicts weighed down your practice? Have you been searching for something that can help alleviate your burnout and unlock your true potential?
Well, we know how you feel because we felt this way once too. As longtime dentists and professional life coaches, we're here to tell you to look no further. Refresh is here to give you access to key resources, tools, and the support you need to restore, renew, and revitalize yourself so that you can experience true well-being, both in your professional life and in your personal life.
That's right. So join us on an incredible journey full of growth and fulfillment like no other. Welcome to Refresh. We're happy you're here.
Welcome to Talk It Out, the podcast that brings you intriguing conversations with fascinating people and insightful discussions on topics that matter to you. If you're a woman in dentistry seeking knowledge, inspiration, and connection, you've come to the right place.
In each episode, we dive into the subjects that pique your curiosity, introducing you to thought leaders, experts, and trailblazers who have the information you crave.
Yeah. So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and prepare to be captivated by an engaging conversation with Dr. Effie Habsha that will leave you feeling informed, empowered, and inspired. It's time to talk it out with the Mint Door because knowledge is power and we believe that you deserve both. So let's dive in.
So we're calling all women in dentistry. Get ready to be inspired by the incredible Dr. Effie Habsha, a trailblazer in the field of prosthodontics and a true champion for work-life balance. With an impressive background, including her DDS Degree, Diploma in Prosthodontics and a Master of Science degree from the University of Toronto, Dr. Habsha is not only an expert in her field, but also a passionate educator.
Yeah, she's currently serving as an Adjunct Assistant Professor at the Department of Dentistry at the University of Rochester, and Dr. Habsha imparts her vast knowledge to the next generation of dental professionals. Her expertise extends to the graduate level instruction in prosthodontics at U of T, where she continues to shape the future of dentistry.
But Dr. Habsha's influence doesn't stop there. As the founder of Women in Dentistry, Work.Life.Balance, a dynamic group established in 2010, she is dedicated to educating, empowering, and connecting women in the dental field. This initiative aims to break barriers, foster growth, and support the well-being of women in dentistry.
While maintaining a thriving private practice focused on prosthodontics in Toronto, Dr. Habsha goes beyond the clinical walls. She shares her expertise on prosthodontic and surgical topics through captivating lectures across the nation and around the globe. Her passion for elevating the field of dentistry and empowering women shines through in every aspect of her work.
So join us as we delve into the extraordinary journey and invaluable insights of Dr. Effie Habsha. Be inspired, gain knowledge, and discover how to achieve work-life balance while making your mark in dentistry. This is an episode you do not want to miss.
Yeah, so let's talk it out. Well, welcome to Talk It Out, Dr. Habsha. We're so extremely honored and thrilled that you're here spending some time with us on the Mint Door podcast.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So if we can start right back at the beginning, can you tell us what your inspiration was that paved the way for the birth of Women in Dentistry?
I mean, that's a very good question. I get that asked all the time. And I think, really the true message and the real reason was it started off as a way for me to connect with my female referrals. Essentially, was one of the first female prosthodontists in Toronto. And in a male-dominated field, both as specialists, back then there weren't as many specialists, and dentists in the community, I did have a really good core group of, well, the majority of my referrals were male. I had a core group of female referrals that were just lovely. And I thought, why not like connect with them in person? Why not expand my network basically and invite, I told them to bring a friend, and it was really a way to connect with my fellow colleagues, my referrals, and to put my name out there, but really to grow. Now, mind you, I had been out in practice for over 7 years, but life happens and you have kids, or not even longer than 7 years by the time, I was out in practice for almost 10 years, and I had always intended to connect with my female referrals, but it took me having all of my babies and, to finally say, okay, I think I can do this now. So when my youngest was 2, I thought, okay, well, let's do something. And that's how it started. It was an evening program with, local dentists from my community. And it was just a lecture that I gave that evening, but the next day was when the magic started to happen, when people connected and said, that was so fun. That was really great. Like, they didn't talk about the dentistry. They didn't care about my lecture on tooth erosion, but they did say that was really fun. And we've never been to an event like this where it's just, we had so many conversations with other female clinicians, and they said, well, when are you doing the next one? And that was really that was in 2010. And that's sort of the infancy of that initiative of women in dentistry. And back then it was called Ladies in Dentistry. It didn't really have it was just kind of like, let's just do this and see what happens. And it stuck. And so, that first event, probably we had 20, 25 people, and our most recent event, we had over 300. So, it's been pretty nice to see it grow kind of very organically. And it was great to see the both of you there. What an awesome treat to have you guys come in from the US to Canada.
Hey,
we loved it.
Yeah.
And
had beautiful weather for you then, just made to order. It was like a beautiful, sunny, hot, almost too hot day. So it was fun to have you guys there.
Yeah.
I think now that's what we've been spoiled. So mistakenly, we probably believe April in Toronto is in the mid-20s and beautifully sunny every day.
No, it's not, but we got lucky.
Oh, yes, it was a beautiful
event.
Started.
Yeah, thank you. That's how it started. And just like the more it grew, the more like-minded women joined, and I got to meet women like you that are just really, incented to connect with other female clinicians. And there are just so many benefits, but we really have expanded from there. Like I said, I use the word organically quite often, but it is really, really an organic growth, to be honest.
Well, I think some of the best things in life come organically, but 100%. Now that it was born organically, then you put some real intention into it as far as the pillars that you prioritize. So could you tell us a little bit about what's important to you as the founder?
As the founder, again, I didn't really think that it would grow to the extent that it has. And what's nice is that, with this organic growth, there is definitely intention. And I think I really like the way you stated that. I kind of had to think about, what are the pillars? And I came up with, just again, by chance, I'm like, educate, empower, and elevate women in the dental field, and women in the community. And really, I mean, it is a CE, like we offer continuing education. So at the end of the day, it's a PACE accredited, AGD accredited group that offers continuing education. We offer programs in education. But what's unique about it is not only dental education. So we have topics related to finances, related to self-empowerment, related to mindfulness, and a bunch of other topics aside from dentistry that really female clinicians can connect to. So that's the educate pillar. Elevate and empower could be, one and the same, but elevate, I find that one of the nice byproducts, as I said, is we've given a forum for other women to showcase what they do. And I am a firm believer. I mean, I think that I've been given opportunities in the past, and kind of paying it forward really makes me feel good. And, we've seen speaking careers launched through our organization. And that was never my intention, because I never thought that we would hold that, I don't want to say power, but we would hold that audience. But guess what? We do. And, there are scouts that come to our meeting, and there are scouts that watch the webinars. So I've had several colleagues say, hey, I got a call after the webinar that I gave you for your group, and I'm now speaking at the California Dental Association, or I'm now speaking at the Ontario Dental Association. As a matter of fact, one of our speakers in the last event, Dr. Maria, the psychologist, who's just phenomenal. I knew her personally and invited her to give a webinar, and she did a phenomenal job. She was amazing. And then scouts from the ODA were watching, and they invited her. So the ODA being the Ontario Dental Association, one of the largest meetings in Canada. So to me, that's like really cool to be able to help launch speaking careers, because there's such an imbalance on the podium. I'm often one of the only women on the stage in various symposia. Just even most recently, when I traveled abroad, I was the only woman out of 16 speakers. So it's kind of cool to be able to showcase other talent and elevate, empower, through our mentorship program. So you asked specifically about what we offer. So we offer education, we offer connection to other dentists via our mentorship program, which has been a tremendous success. It's run by my good friend, orthodontist Tracy Hendler, and the group of women at the University of Toronto, where we pair mentors and mentees. And you both are mentors, and we're waiting to get a testimonial. I think if we haven't already, Megan will be on it, but to get a testimonial, because that was another delicious byproduct of this program, where I thought, I had so many influential mentors in my life, why not connect people? And I never knew the profound effect that it would have on people until I read some of the testimonials saying, like, I've made a friend for life, or my mentor is like a second mom. Like, wow, that's really powerful. So I think, the main pillars are education, elevation, and empowerment of women. And a lot of that is just through connections to other women, other professionals in our community. So it's been really, really positive, the growth.
It is. It's just fun to hear the organic, and then the intention, and then putting those two things together and just seeing what magic has happened.
It really has. Yeah. It really has. And actually, we're on, I don't know if you saw the latest Dentistry Today. We're not on the cover. I'm not on the cover, but there's an issue in here. So, this is historic, this whole, and there's our symposium. The idea that Dentistry Today is doing a big feature on women in dentistry is not my group, but not our group, but just women, in fact, in dentistry, is just tremendous, because let me tell you, 13 years ago when I started, that was not the case. It was not almost. I had to keep it a little bit quiet because we didn't want to ruffle any feathers. And that was like that for many years, until I said, I don't care if I ruffle feathers, because this isn't about me. And then things exploded, like in 2018, for my group, but also around the whole Me Too movement. And now you just see people clamoring to develop these organizations and industry listening and reporting. And I think I think that we've been instrumental with that, moving the dial, and myself and your group and others like it. I think it's just really, really great to see that, affecting that change. Again, not intentionally, but it has made an impact.
Huge impact.
I think one thing from at your meeting, your symposium, when we were there this April, was the connection. You keep using the word connections and mentoring. It was so nice to be sat at a table with such a variety of women from different backgrounds, different cultures, different levels of their careers, from dental students all the way through to very experienced women dentists. That to be able to bring that all together to an in-person event was really special. So tell us about how the in-person events that you have run have evolved. You gave a little bit of insight into, you started smaller and it's built big, but what's the evolution of this?
So the evolution was just that. It started off in our private office here. We have an education space that can accommodate up to 50 people. And after 8 years of doing this, we were busting at the seams. We had a waiting list and people just wanted to be involved. So in 2018 was the first, I don't know if you saw the movie The Field, or you remember the line from the movie The Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner, where he says, and I love it, it's like, if you build it, they will come. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just putting it out there. I threw a number out. I said, I want 100 people at our next event. So that was sort of putting it out into the universe. And guess what? We sold out at over 100. It was at a local restaurant here, and it could accommodate 100 people. And that's what we got. And then I put my sights to a full day symposium. I said, you know what? I want 300 for a full day event. And that was just, that's what happened. So I think I'm reading a lot more about kind of the universe and what you put in, you get out what you put into it. And I just truly feel that if your intention is a kind of an honest one, and if you believe in what you do, then good things happen. And I like the idea of what you said of, you two are two strangers from the US that came in and got to meet, really great people. And I mean, Toronto in general is a very multicultural city. So, you'll just see everything and everyone in all sorts of cultures. And that's kind of like women in dentistry. We see everyone in terms of culturally, but like you said, different levels of experience, not only dentists. So the group is open to hygienists, team members, assistant, because I feel, and we feel, that everyone's just as equally important. There's no I in teamwork. It's just, I feel like the evolution of the group, we've always had in the tagline work-life balance, and that sort of carried over into our educational events, where if you notice at the symposium, there were topics related to work, meaning clinical dentistry, life around, we had a psychologist, we had other non-dental related topics, and then we had a concurrent session for the team members. So, sessions for hygienists, for treatment plan coordinators, for admin people, for assistants. So there's really something for everyone. And that's really been my kind of goal, to be extremely inclusive to any woman in the dental field. So it's not women dentists in dentistry, it's women in dentistry. So whether you're, a hygienist, an assistant, an office manager, I think we're all equally important. And we have done, some lectures or some evenings on keys to a successful practice. And the keys do include empowering your staff and empowering your team. And the evolution of this group and the symposia is really, for me, it's meant to be like a fun but productive and educational day for the entire team. So a dentist can come in with her staff, and there's something for everyone. So we're not, going in and braiding each other's hair and doing our nails. We're serious, smart clinicians, and there's clinical content, but then there's the fun side of a photo booth and a beautiful, I think it's a great lunch and a very nice venue. And so I'm very particular in kind of the entire aesthetic of the day, and we'll invest in that aesthetic. There are always some nice giveaways and bags and great door prizes. So it for me, it's more of it's of course educational, because we offer CE points, but there's something for everyone. There's enlightenment for everyone. I think it's a great day, and that's sort of how it's evolved, and that's how it's going to continue to evolve and include more and more, students are included, and really make it a very inclusive event.
Yeah.
And we're really excited, and we're going to branch out into hands-on as well. So last year, on a whim, I'm like, next year it's going to be a 2-day event, and we're going to have hands-on programs. So we're figuring that one out. But I always think that I don't like to stay stagnant. So kind of forging ahead and doing more stuff, I think, is really, really great.
Yeah.
And we'll hope to see you guys there.
We'll be there from
professional
here on
capacity.
out. We are there because it
Awesome.
Was a beautifully
and bring friends.
And bring friends. Yeah. Beautifully curated event. Your prosthet background probably lends itself well to looking into the details, but beautifully cultivated culture of the event, and like none that I've ever been to. So
yeah, we invest in the little things, even like our photographer and videographer. I mean, you've seen the photos. Are they not gorgeous? I mean, we can get someone for half the price, but no, I mean, she just does fantastic work. Natalie Crown, she's a perfectionist, and I'm not compromising on that, and I think there's that detail to everything. that we're very proud of. And I think it shows. It's not like a regular dental conference.
No,
I don't think
no.
One little detail that we have talked about since, and how in this world where we think about being sustainable and environmentally friendly, was the fact that there were no water bottles. It was glass water carafes that were filled up with water on the table.
Yes.
And that just stood out to us, that we were like, wow, we can tell that Effie thought of the details.
We try. I mean, that's a hot topic in dentistry now, right? Just sustainable dentistry and not having waste. And that's, very relevant. So yes, thank you for noticing that.
Yes, very classy. So so since we're talking about this, our listeners are probably excited and wondering how they get involved with women in dentistry, how they'd find out about the future upcoming symposium. What's the best way for somebody to dip their toes into the women in dentistry movement?
Yeah. Well, we're in the process of restructuring a little bit and just getting a more, again, I didn't expect it to be as big as and have that such a vast reach. So we are in the process of kind of developing our website, but I'd say the best is to just go online on Instagram at Women's Dentistry, on our website, womensdentistry.com. You can Google me and I have all the links to the group. So that's how you can get involved by attending. But we're also kind of opening the door for building chapters across the world. And we sort of beta testing. We have 4 chapters already. And I think that's just a cool way to have a similar message where, if you're a dentist and you want to start your own chapter, we can help you with the infrastructure and you don't have to have a 300-person event. You can have a 10 people event. And those are often very, very rewarding. And there are, I think often dentists might feel quite isolated, especially if you're a sole practitioner, maybe living in a smaller, town or city. The opportunity to connect, you all often have this immediate sort of sisterhood. So I think that's another thing that, we are kind of open to that, but I'm not seeking people. But if people have approached me and said, hey, how can I do this myself? Can you help me? And we've done that for quite a few, for some of the new places. So that's sort of the other thing that I think is going to be nice to see, little kind of pockets start up, and then we just all meet once a year. And eventually it'll move to beyond Toronto. Like we're looking at Montreal this year, like in addition to the main event. So there's a lot on the horizon, and, I just have to keep on top of it, on top of my other 5 other jobs. So like a lot of us, we're juggling so many balls in the air. So,
a little bit of dentistry, a little bit of motherhood,
a little bit of dentistry, a little bit of, I think that's stuff we're all used to. So it is set for next year. I'm just looking to the side here because it's April 4th and 5th. I was going to say 14th, but that's this year. So April 4th and 5th. And really the reason we made it a 2-day event is that if you are coming in from out of town, I thought it would be nice to give people the option to do some hands-on the night before, the day before, but the symposium will be on the Friday. So you can come just to the one event. And, again, as I said, we're the team of people that I work with. We've got a really great advisory board, Robin Shields from Creston Oral-B, who you met, Jackie Joachim, Sally Safa, Megan, who's our administrator, and a bunch of other really great women, too many to mention, Tracy Hendler, everyone that's, Carrie Lepacek, everyone's that's kind of in the journal. We also have a journal. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the journal, but there are, a real army of women that are involved. So it's we're working on the finishing touches.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, we will make sure and have all those links appropriately in our show notes so that people can click on them. But for sure, find Women's Dentistry on Instagram. Great Instagram. You give great inspiration there, education. It's a great, and just empowerment and, elevation of other women in dentistry. So that's a great way to check you out as well.
And you guys too, right back at you.
You're sweet. Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see how Women in Dentistry continues to grow and evolve, and would just like to say thank you from the bottom of our heart, because this is something that we have talked about. We both wish we would have had when we were young dentists, even middle dentists. And so what a wonderful gift you're giving to the world of women in dentistry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies. And you keep doing what you're doing. It's also very inspirational. So thanks for having me on your show. And I look forward to seeing you guys in person soon.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks, listeners. We adore you and hope you found some encouragement from our Talk It Out podcast today. We'll see you next time on the next episode of the Mint Door podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.